I'll start the 19th of June with the squadron summaries, and we're into a string of 3 days here with minimal operations due to weather, and as such I'll probably keep these videos kind of short and regroup on my end to find some better overlays for the next phase of the ground war and then pick things up again. It looks like on the 22nd things are going to be back more or less to normal. But on the 19th we had from 441 Squadron inclement weather. A number of the squadron visited Bayo, which shows practically no signs of battle damage, and Flight Lieutenant Blades was transferred to 443 Squadron, and Flight Lieutenant Copeland came to this squadron. 442 gives us light rain this morning. 0945, a record of a broadcast from a village in Normandy with General de Gaulle speaking. Pilots told to report at 1000 instead of 0900. When it was still raining at 1020, they were released for the morning. The dispersal marquee is leaking in several places. On readiness from 1300 hours, still raining, dismal day, leaks in the marquee and mess tent. Rain all day and muddy underfoot. Scrambled at 2200 hours for an hour, but visibility poor and nothing seen. Total flying hours for the day only 6. And 443 Squadron starts right off the bat with a miserable day, strong wind, heavy cloud, and light rain. Squadron on immediate readiness, but no sorties made. Flight Lieutenant Copeland sent to 441 Squadron in exchange for Flight Lieutenant Blades, who had come in as a replacement at the same time as the former. As 3 experienced pilots were lost in the squadron recently, it was thought that a pilot with greater experience should come to 443 Squadron, and Flight Lieutenant Blades has already completed 1 tour, whereas Flight Lieutenant Copeland is fresh from OTU. Considerable activity during the night by low-flying enemy aircraft coming in under protection of low clouds. No damage suffered, slight loss of sleep, nil flying. And the OTU that it just referenced there is an operational training unit, where a pilot will go to get spun up on the basics before going to an operational unit. Now for missions, we do have that 1300 to 1325 scramble by 441. That was just 2 aircraft going up, landing. 25 minutes later, nothing seen, and then a scramble by 442, 2200 to 2300. And this is scrambled at 2150 hours at 3,000 feet over base or vector due south for 2 minutes to intercept bogey, visibility between 5 and 6, slightly west of Con, 2 bursts of flak, vectored north in order to patrol east and west, bogey reported over Bayo, no results, patrolled until 2245 and then returned to base. Now, to close out the day, I would be remiss if I didn't at least mention some of the effects of the storm on the 19th. The American Mulberry Harbor up at Omaha Beach was completely destroyed by the storm. The British Mulberry at Armanche was heavily damaged, and you can still see the remnants of the British Mulberry. This would have eventually been named Port Winston and used for several months after this, almost to the end of the war in some capacity. And clearly still visible there are the Phoenix caissons that would have been assembled in England, floated over, and then sunk here to provide the base of the harbor. And I'll show some more photos of this harbor completed as we go here, but I'm not going to, this time, dig into any details on the Mulberry Harbors themselves, but whenever the 19th of June comes up, that storm and the destruction of the mulberries is always a topic to bring up, and thinking about the sheer amount of equipment and personnel, vehicles, armor that had to come ashore, you can really start to see the importance, and that's why there is such a push to come up here and take Cherbourg and to get a real harbor into Allied hands. But that is a story for a little later in the month, so we'll pick up again on the 20th of June. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.